Welcome, everyone, to the L7C Podcast Wrestling Edition. Today is the SummerSlam preview. We're going to be previewing SummerSlam that's taking place in Detroit on August 5th. We got the wrestling expert with us, Mr. Jacob Mason. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm fantastic, buddy. I'm ready to do some SummerSlam reviewing. I'm ready to do some, previewing of SummerSlam. Jesus. I just got back from a Mexican restaurant, a couple margaritas deep.
We got the captain with us, Byron Mitchell. How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, I'm doing good. It's always a great day when we get to talk about some wrestling.
So let's get right into it, man. SummerSlam's coming up next Saturday of day of recording, and we got 6 matches. And for those who don't know, because I have not used this site in forever, probably since WWE Network was gone, but the original WWE website, when you go to their pay-per-views, they have a countdown. So SummerSlam is 10 days, 11 minutes, and 56 seconds and counting from right now. So
wow,
they're stepping up there. I mean, you know, you sold the network for $1 billion, so it looks like they stepped up their website. But right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches listed as of right now. And we'll also talk about some matches we think might get on. We got Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso in Tribal Combat. We don't know what the hell that's about to mean for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. We got Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar 3. We got Seth versus Finn. We got the triple threat with Asuka, Charlotte, and Bianca Belair. You got Gunther versus Drew McIntyre. And you got Logan Paul versus Ricochet. Before we start, last podcast, we said this before the other people posted it, that Austin Theory not being on the past couple things, he's in the danger zone, and it's looking like his U.S. title match isn't even going to be on SummerSlam. It's going to be on the Friday before SummerSlam, from what I've seen. And we brought that up last pod, and Jacob, man, it's really looking bad out here for Theory.
Yeah, it's not good, but where there is darkness, there is light in the future. So, according to the rumor mill, we're allegedly getting an LA Knight push. And I've been seeing possibly a United States title run, which would be perfect.
Okay. Byron, what do you think of Theory's thing and allegedly an LA Knight push that we've all been wanting? With shout out to LA Knight, he's like the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. He's the number 1 selling t-shirt combined right now in WWE, beating Seth, Roman, Cody. He has spots like 2 through 5.
That man is so over with the crowd. It's just amazing to see just how over he is.
Organically,
yeah. Without a WWE creative push, he just got over organically because people wanted to see him succeed. And it's just beautiful to see when you get like natural progression like that out of a wrestler. But Austin Theory, man, I think he was doomed from the start. Like when he got to be pushed in that Money in the Bank ladder match last year.
Yep.
And then Vince retired, and then Roman killed him on the mic. So I think it was just a combination of too many things that was not good for Austin Theory. That sucks that he hasn't had a good United States push like Gunther has elevated the Intercontinental title. It's just sad to see that the U.S. champ has not been elevated like that. So hopefully whoever is champ next, because I know Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar has a number 1 contender match on this Friday. I think Santos Escobar is going to win. So I think it might be Theory versus Escobar. Hopefully they do it at SummerSlam. This would be really sad for them to do it on a Friday before SummerSlam.
I think also too, like with SmackDown, your secondary male championship, it's got to be like almost your top championship because Roman's not there every time. Like you need somebody like a male champ there, and Sami and Kevin and aren't really going, like they go back and forth because they got both the belts. But you look on Raw, and like you said, Byron, Gunther's freaking killing it, and you know they could push a mid-card title because look what he's doing, and Austin's just like, eh.
Yeah.
But another match Well, we'll make this match first because another match that's not listed that's going to happen. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. So we're actually going to start there. Ronda versus Shayna. We think Ronda. This is her last swan song. You know, the rumors that we've started that she might go to UFC now that Amanda Nunes is gone and try and get that title back. Jacob, Ronda, Shayna, I think it should be like in a fight pit type setting. I don't know what type of match they're going to have, but does Ronda put Shayna over?
She should. And like I said on the last podcast, they're friends. I could see Ronda definitely doing the job here.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if she still has like a couple matches left on her contract, I could very well easily see Ronda winning this.
That's a good point. That's a real good point.
If I knew for sure when her contract would end, I feel like that would change everything. But we just know she wants out.
Yeah, no, that's a real good point. Byron?
I actually agree with Jacob. I think it just depends on if this is Ronda's last match, because I could see them doing like a trilogy if Ronda has a couple more matches after this. But if she doesn't, I definitely can see Ronda putting Shayna over, and hopefully Shayna can go back to NXT Shayna. Just kill everybody.
So would Ronda do the unthinkable? Would she tap out for Shayna?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think she would.
Okay.
I think if you're going to put Shayna over, because this is massive, you have to put her over in the right way. And a tap out is, I mean, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah. Because Ronda calls herself the baddest woman on the planet. So if you tap out the baddest woman on the planet, that makes you the baddest woman on the planet.
And then they instantly got it. She instantly has to be like a number one contender for the title.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like if they're gonna fully commit to this rebrand of Shayna back to, like you said, Byron, like you say, NXT Shayna, you got to put the title on her.
Speaking of the women's title, do we think Rhea is going to have a title at SummerSlam? A title match at SummerSlam?
Why? So she can wrestle Natalya again?
I'm just saying.
That's what I was going to say.
I mean, you have a point there.
I mean, that's who she's wrestled almost for all these title matches, man. It's almost embarrassing.
Yeah, she's actually been more involved with the Judgment Day storylines than like with her own storyline, which is fine, but she needs to have her storylines too. I mean, there was a rumor of her versus Raquel,
which could still
happen.
happen.
It could, but like nothing has happened with that yet. So like Monday Night Raw is when they would have to book that match.
Which they might, because from this episode, like Rhea beating the hell out of Liv.
Yeah.
So then Raquel could do. So we'll preview that now too. I mean, if Rhea versus Raquel, I don't think Rhea would lose.
No.
I don't think this is Raquel's time to win that type of title. And I know Jacob is the biggest fan of Raquel Rodriguez, so I mean, he's itching for her to win.
I mean, she already has a title, though.
That is
Doesn't
true.
she?
Hey, no, she lost.
Happened that I missed.
They lost the tag titles to Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Right. That's right. I am so sorry.
Back to hot potato.
The only reason I should even remember that is because of Matt Cardona.
Yeah.
Who's done more for the women's title reign than any of the women's tag team champions as of late.
Jesus.
So wild.
Jesus. He did rock the belt. I saw that. That was dope. That was dope.
That was dope, yeah.
But man. So she doesn't have a title, so there's just no way Rhea would lose to her.
Yeah. I would be real shocked if they put the belt on Raquel.
It wouldn't make sense. It just wouldn't make sense. And then is better than Natalya, man. No offense, but Natalya, every time she went against, it was just bad.
Listen, say what you want about Natalya. she was worth $1. I'm pretty sure Raquel wasn't worth any money at that time. So
At that time. Just because I needed to pull these up because they don't have that match listed, but Bet Online had Shayna as a minus 800 favorite.
woo!
And Ronda plus 425.
Mm.
So, and then the match we
Okay.
just talked about, Rhea and whatchamacallit, Raquel hasn't been official, so it's not up here yet. Just like an Austin Theory thing isn't up here yet because it's not a official. So let's move on then to Ricochet versus Logan Paul. This will be interesting. I mean, they had that spot at the Royal Rumble. They're both two high flyers. It should be an entertaining match. For Ricochet, this is one of, if not the biggest match in his WWE career, because he's going to get a spotlight with a social media star and Logan Paul. Byron, how do you see this one going?
Ricochet needs to win this match because, like you said, it's one of the biggest matches in his WWE career. This will elevate him if he does win, but I have a feeling that Logan Paul is going to win because he lost the Money in the Bank Championship ladder match and he lost against Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. So I feel like they're going to have him go over to reward him for not winning those last two matches.
Okay. Jacob?
Yeah, I gotta agree with Byron here. I think Logan Paul is going to win. I think it's going to be by some fuckery, but I do see him going over, and I can see them like doing a good 2-3 match storyline here. And I mean, we both know both Ricochet and Logan Paul can go. So I'm good with that. I mean, hey, you want to give me a good storyline out of this? Kill some time before Mania, do something with both guys. Like, I'm good with it. If Paul wins, cool. If Ricochet wins, cool. Like, really, at the end of the day, I think the fans really win here.
Good point. Very good points out of both of you guys. They have Logan Paul as the minus 400 favorite, Ricochet plus 250. So there, you guys are agreeing with them. Let's go to Gunter versus Drew McIntyre. That pay-per-view that they had, Money in the Bank, this was one of the most shocking things of Drew coming back because he was not seen since WrestleMania. The rumors of his contract about to be over very, very soon. To this day, we still don't even know if he's re-signed. Him showing up at All In at Wembley because it's in the UK. He comes out of nowhere. Now he's challenging Gunter for the title. Jacob, again, I give you props for this every time. Many years ago, you gave Drew the right name, right guy, wrong time. Is it that again?
I think it is. Okay, so let's play future Booker here. If Drew goes over and wins the IC title, what do you do with Gunther?
Well,
because I think if he loses, you have to basically skyrocket him right to main event slot. And if you're going to do that, then he's got to win. He's either got to beat Seth or beat Roman. And I don't think right now he should be beating either one. I feel like that needs to be saved for a Royal Rumble, Mania, a next year SummerSlam, something along those lines. But I don't see it happening right now.
I know he talked a little bit about his wedding. I don't think he got a chance to go on a honeymoon. Is this one of those things where since after SummerSlam it gets a little slow, he loses, disappears, goes on a honeymoon, comes back and wins the Royal Rumble? I know that's further ahead, but that's a legit Royal Rumble winner type person.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he was the longest lasting one last year, right?
Yep. He was first and Cody was last and Cody eliminated him. So I could see Gunter winning the Rumble. And then I agree with you, Jacob. I don't think he's going to beat either of the champs, but he wins the Rumble. He's still in a main event slot.
Yeah. I mean, I like your idea. If Drew goes over, put Gunther on ice, just put him on ice, set him aside, the whole Imperium faction, just kind of let him just sit back, forget about him, bring him back at Rumble. That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
I had another idea, but then this is going to highly affect I guess you could say second main event on this. But if Gunter loses now to Drew, takes a break until Survivor Series, since the other guy's been working, and if Roman doesn't work Survivor Series or something happens to Seth, can we get a main event of finally Gunter versus Brock? If Gunter beats Brock in November, that shows everyone he's for real when it comes to the Rumble.
Okay, I'm going back to we're going to play future Booker.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys heard the rumors of where Mania is going to be not next year in Philadelphia, but the year after?
41 have no.
Rumor has it that it's a rumor, so don't quote me. But rumor has it's going to be in Minneapolis.
Oh no!
Oh, Brock so if it's in Minneapolis, you have to have Brock there.
He's main eventing Saturday.
Or he has to main event the Hall of Fame. It has to be one of the two.
Yep.
But damn, I want to see Brock Lesnar go out in Minneapolis. And how sweet would it be if you had Gunther versus Brock at Mania?
Gunter talks about him. He's like, he even says Roman's not really his goal right now. Like he was clamoring for the Lesnar match. And I mean, Lesnar always does business.
I wanted it bad last year. And you know, if you're going to hold it out for that, hell yeah. That'd be fucking sweet.
So then on the flip side of Jacob's thing, Byron, I'll ask you the flip side. If Drew gets killed, he's done. He's leaving. I don't think he's gonna get killed, but if he like just no offense, really, maybe one Claymore gets kicked out, I think that's it. I think he's really going to AEW.
Yeah, I think this match has a lot of weight to it, not just on the Gunther side, but also on the Drew McIntyre side, because we haven't seen him since Mania. Like you said, randomly shows up at Money in the Bank to stare down Gunther after he beats the hell out of Matt Riddle. So it's one of those matches that has a big fight feel to it. I don't know who's going to win. Like, I would be happy if either of them won, because Gunther could continue to be not his goal, but on his way to being the longest reigning Intercontinental champion, which would be awesome. But then I want Drew McIntyre to win because he's never had that big moment in front of the crowd. So I'm torn, but I feel like Gunther wins.
Yeah, I think Gunther wins, but I guess too, it's like if Gunther wins now, they got to get that title off of Theory, the U.S. title, because if they're doing the whole Survivor Series thing where the Intercontinental champ fights the U.S. champ, nobody cares about Gunther versus freaking Austin Theory. Future booking wise.
True.
And then like Drew, I mean, to another match that we're going to talk about, do you turn him heel in a couple months and then he challenges Seth? Because after Finn, who's next? Spoiler alert, I think Seth's going to win. But like, who's after Finn?
I mean, Damien still has that briefcase.
But I don't think he would challenge him in a match. You got to be sneaky with the briefcase.
True.
I mean, Drew,
yeah, after Finn, I don't know who steps up next for
like
that.
Drew would be an option if he goes out valiantly on this and takes some time off again. Maybe wins a number one contender match on Raw or something.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that, Jacob, of like having Drew go against Seth at like one of these October, December pay-per-views?
I could see it, but my prediction is, I mean, without talking about the match, but I'm going to have to talk about the match here. The Seth Finn match, 3.0 here. I'm going Finn Balor on that match.
Oh.
And I'm going with the Damian Priest cash in afterwards.
Oh, that will cause a stir.
And I think what do we do with Seth after that? I'm not exactly sure, but I don't know. That's just my gut feeling on what's going to happen. But I have been wrong before. I thought The Rock was going to show up at Mania.
So you got Gunter in this one.
Yeah, I'm taking Gunter on this.
Gunter minus 500, Drew plus 300. So we're going to skip around then to what you just said, Jacob, the Seth and Finn one. And I'm just going to tell you guys the odds right now because this is close. Seth minus 160, Finn plus 120.
Ooh.
Like they might be cooking what Jacob's cooking.
I mean, could you see? I'm thinking in the back of my mind because I still think it sucked how at Mania, this past Mania, we had Demon Balor and he lost, and I hate that. I hate it with the pack. Yeah. But let's say Finn gets kicked out of Judgment Day or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
If you do it right, you bring back Demon Balor 10 times more badass than what he's ever been. Yeah. And I mean, there's a lot of different stuff you could do there with that. So I mean, that's my guess.
I wish if Roman and Jey weren't on this card, this would be the main event. And you could have had a picture of like Damian holding the briefcase, Dominic holding the North American title, Rhea holding the women's title, Finn holding that title. And then right before you think the show's over, Damian cashes in, and that's the end image. That would be, but it won't be, but that would be crazy.
That would be a hard picture.
I mean, I'm saying, what if you get Finn out, but what if Damian just goes, nah, screw you guys, I'm out. And he just goes
with the title?
Just leaves with the title. And we get kind of like a Baron Corbin-esque lone wolf, Damian Priest type deal thing.
Yeah, it's possible, man, because these I think are the closest. I think besides like the women's triple threat, like these are the closest odds they have on here. Like this is close.
I like Jacob's idea. I do because I like Finn and I want him to win a title. Also want him to have a successful reign with the title, unlike he did when he got injured against Seth at SummerSlam, which is wild. But I just think Seth is so over and so hot right now that I don't think he's losing right now. I think he defends it, maybe loses it at the Rumble, maybe before that, but I don't see him losing it at SummerSlam. I could be wrong though.
I gotta call out one half of the Dudleys, Mr. Ray, because he said one of the dumbest things ever that I saw on social media. He had the nerve to try and say Seth Rollins wasn't a fighting champion. And I'm like, what promotion are you watching? Bro, some of these wrestlers who do their podcasts, I obviously they know a lot more than me because they did it, but they say the dumbest things with no facts. It's just like when Kevin Nash tried to say something about LA Knight, and then he basically is like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know he was doing all this. I'm sorry. Like, watch the product or read a damn article. Seth Rollins is defending the title more since he's got here since Roman has in like a year and a half.
Which is wild.
Seth Rollins went to defend the title against Braun Breaker at NXT on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
Like, shut the hell up.
Seth Rollins were defended on a house show.
But his interview that Seth had, he was speaking facts, man. He's like, the reason that we had to have two titles is because of Roman. If Roman was doing what I was doing and defended against everyone, we wouldn't have two titles. We wouldn't need them. I'm like, well,
he's 100%
right because yeah, we're in a chokehold and we'll get to that main event. But man, Jacob, you're really selling me on this idea. You're really selling me. Seth won that title at what paper? It's Saudi Arabia against AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's been a couple months. Finn has not had a world title since SummerSlam, literally 7 years ago. He
had it for.
I mean, he did go back to NXT,
which was sweet. God. But if Seth loses, that's the thing. Where is he going? Because where's he gonna do?
Yeah. I mean, he could take time off. Man deserves it.
Does he want to? He feels like he's in the prime of his career right now. He's hitting on all cylinders.
He also came out with an interview, I think it was last week, where he said he has all these injuries, but he refuses to take time off. I was like, that was
on Logan Paul's impulsive.
Yep.
Man, so Jacob's going to go Finn and then Damian cash in. Byron, you going the same?
I'm going Seth. I just feel like he's too hot right now to lose it.
I'm going Damien. I think the
Ah!
cash it's coming. I don't know if it's good.
I'm like a fucking used car salesman, a fucking fan.
I don't know if
You
Finn is
want
going to
this
hold
fucking
it.
car. Look at this son of a bitch.
I don't know if Finn is actually going to win the title. I just think someone's cashing in on that Saturday.
There's gonna be some fuckery. That's for
Yes.
sure.
Yes, there's going to be a lot of fuckery. So I'm going to go Damien on this, but this one, triple threat: Asuka, Charlotte, Bianca. Need we say more? These are some of the best women in wrestling right now. I mean, you already have two all-time greats in Asuka and Charlotte. Bianca's on her way to becoming an all-time great. Asuka's the champ. She's currently favored because of triple threat rules, but God, I know who we all think's gonna win. or we wouldn't be surprised. I think we all have the number 15 in our head right now, and we know Asuka it does business. I think we all see the number 15.
Has Asuka lost? Like I need a breakdown of like all of Asuka's title wins and all of her losses because I have to imagine 90% of them have to be all to Charlotte.
I will try and get that up for you, but
it's hard for me to see an Asuka and Charlotte match, and I know Bianca Belair's in there, but I'm just like in my mind it's like, yeah, of course Charlotte wins. She's facing Asuka. Of course she does, because that's how it works.
I'm still looking for that stuff. Byron, what do you
Been thinking about this match all day. And the fact that Charlotte is 5-0 at SummerSlam also looms large in my mind, along with the number 15. I think Charlotte wins and pins Asuka, and I hate to say that because I want Asuka to finally get over that hump and not lose to Charlotte Flair. But I have to go Charlotte, and I hope I am wrong in that Asuka return.
All right, so for one, this one I think used to be the Raw Women's Championship. I don't know, it's the one she's had. No, this used to be the SmackDown Women's Championship, where Asuka held the title for 100 days. In 2018, and lost to Charlotte. She lost that title to Charlotte. So that's one of them that she lost to Charlotte. Let's look through the other one as we are. There was one where Asuka lost that title to Sasha Banks because they had Sasha and Bailey have all the belts, but then Sasha just lost it right back to Asuka at SummerSlam. And then if you remember, Asuka did the job for Rhea at WrestleMania 37. But obviously that biggest one was on the SmackDown where Asuka was champ and Charlotte took it from her. Charlotte ended Asuka's undefeated streak. All of her big losses are to Charlotte. Pretty much. I know we brought this up last pod, and it's going to probably go the way we think. Asuka will do business, take the pin. Bianca will come back eventually and say, I was beaten, because they're going to have to stretch this. I've never been pinned, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't the one who got pinned. And then they have the event that we've been talking about for a year now. Charlotte and Bianca at WrestleMania, Saturday, main event night 1.
Yeah. Hard to argue that logic.
I mean, it's going to happen, which, fun fact, there hasn't been a women main eventing night 1 since Bianca and Sasha Banks, which was a hell of a match. But I just feel like Asuka's going to do business, man.
Oh, yeah.
Why is it always Asuka?
But then you have a rematch of SummerSlam at Survivor Series. You got Charlotte versus Rhea. If they continue that thing. So
True.
that might be what they do. Because Rhea ain't going to lose that title anytime soon. And I don't think I honestly think Io is going to be the first unsuccessful cash-in because of Bayley. And Io deserves to win that damn title, but she's going to be the first unsuccessful women's cash-in against, and it's going to be because of Bayley. That's going to cause Damage Control to implode. And like Jacob said with Asuka losing the title to Charlotte, 90% of the cash-ins have been on her.
Yep.
So they can't do that all the damn time. Bayley cashed in on Charlotte at a SummerSlam a couple years ago.
Yeah, Carmella cashed in.
Nikki ASH has cashed in on her. Like,
yeah.
Wait
I will say that
roll
is
over here, Martin. Just absolutely sell the shit out of it.
I don't want Charlotte to win, dude. I want Asuka to win, but she's
the Bayley thing. It's just like, that's perfect.
She's been messing up the past couple times. She was messing up her rise to win Money in the Bank. Like, it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be devastated. I'm like, man, it's really Io that they're going to sacrifice for this.
And the reason one of the reasons Bayley didn't win was because of Io.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
I mean, there's your storyline right there.
Yeah. I know Bayley's doing some stuff with Shotzi, but you integrate that too. Like, you hit him with the Batista Rey Mysterio. You're supposed to be my friend, and started beating the hell out of each other. So,
all right, I'm sold now.
So Charlotte's gonna win. She's gonna pin Asuka, and Bianca's gonna be. It's gonna happen when Bianca's out of bounds. Going to another 4 horsewoman. This match isn't on the card officially, but we think it's going to be. Oh, and just for the odds: Asuka minus 120, Charlotte plus 175, Bianca plus 250.
Holy shit! Asuka's the favorite.
Triple threat rules. She does. That's the only reason.
She doesn't have to be. Yeah.
But Byron, we know your girl, the man's going to be on this card. It's going to be against Trish Stratus, more than likely. I think Becky wins that pretty easily. I think that feud's going to be over, so they can move her to the main event.
Yeah, I feel like she wins. Where she goes from there, who knows? I know she stared down Rhea like 3 weeks ago. Said, "Oh, what'd she say?" Because she had a hard line too. I can't remember, but I know
she listened to the L7C podcast because we talked about that Raw women's single division is ass.
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, it is.
Like, damn.
Yeah. No offense to Trish. Becky's winning. I'll be real shocked if Trish wins.
Do we get a number one contenders match to really elevate this girl? Shayna versus Becky, and Shayna gets the win she should have got at WrestleMania.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Ooh, I would watch the hell out of that match.
Gives Rhea some more time to deal with the Judgment Day stuff. She doesn't have a contender right away, and then you have Shayna and Becky feuding, and Becky talks like, you finally got rid of that Ronnie girl, like, and there's your number one contender match. Becky puts her over, then you really know that Shayna's legit.
Yeah. What's the next pay-per-view after this? Is it the one in Indianapolis, Fastlane?
I believe so. Let's see.
I don't know.
Yeah, because the Fastlane one is in October.
October.
Well, we got SummerSlam. Survivor Series is in November. There's no way that they're gonna go that. Let me look that up for you guys. But
they could have the number one contenders match at that next pay-per-view, which would be smooth. Instead of doing it on like a random Raw, save it for a big not a big pay-per-view, but save it for a pay-per-view.
Next would be pay. Oh, we talked about this Payback in Pittsburgh in September.
Oh yeah. Yep, Payback. So yeah, have it at Payback.
Shayna getting payback on Becky.
Yeah.
There we go. Just sold that one. Just sold now. So, Jacob, you think Becky beats Trish?
God, I hope so. I just want this feud to end. Like I'm over it. It's dumb. I mean, this whole thing started with Lita's drunk ass, so I'm over it.
Yeah.
And this shit.
You know, Lita has not been seen since Trish.
She might show up here to help.
Maybe she'll show up Becky. Yeah, because Trish has Zoe Stark in her corner, so Lita might come help Becky.
Maybe. All right, we got this trilogy ending, which will be very interesting where both these wrestlers go. Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar. I don't think Cody should have lost that last match, but it is what it is. This is the rubber match. Currently just a single match, no special rules. Jacob, who you got in this?
It has to be Cody, right?
Yeah.
It has to be.
I agree.
I don't. Cody obviously needs to win more than Brock.
Yep.
Now, the real question for me is, I'm so sorry, I have the hiccups. Does Cody still have his titanium arm from Marvel Studios Winter Soldier?
I think that's off now. I think so.
Oh, is it completely? Did they remove it? Okay. Well,
no,
is it still on?
I just remember seeing it at premiere for his documentary.
Oh,
I remember him, Chelsea Green, and Matt Cardona took a picture together. I think he had his wrist thing on. I could be wrong.
Well, regardless, it's Brock Lesnar, so I'll probably snap that titanium Winter Soldier arm right in half. I don't know, but somehow Cody will prevail. So,
one moment. Let me check this video while Byron go ahead, because this was from a day ago. Byron, who do you think? Who you got in this?
I have Cody, but I don't know if I would be shocked if Brock won.
In his thing that he just did a day ago, his hands are free.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
This was on the 24th. So you got Cody?
I got Cody, because I still think they're trying to do him versus Roman at WrestleMania.
God knows how they get there still.
Who knows, but that's still the latest rumor, so I feel like Cody wins this, which his rivalry makes no sense because we still don't know why they're fighting after 3 matches. It makes no sense.
I got Cody too. Cody has to win. Absolutely has to win. He's a minus 800 favorite. Brock Lesnar is plus 425. The main event that we said was possible, and it's happening because of the things we thought. Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso for the title, tribal combat. We'll see how that goes. Obviously, Jimmy's out of the picture now. Roman still has Solo, Paul Heyman. I just want to give you guys these odds before we all pick Roman. Jey Uso is plus 700. And Roman Reigns is minus 2,000.
Damn. Damn.
I mean, this 1,000 plus Reigns still going to continue. But does Jey maybe have a way to, I don't know, win by DQ or something?
I think the only way Jey wins if Solo turns on Roman. And like Samoan spikes Roman and then just leaves, and then Jey pins Roman.
That'd be the something, but we always ask where this story's gonna go from after stuff, Jacob. And like when Jey loses, where do they go from here? Because they can't just have this one match and it's over.
Do they put Jimmy in?
Do
you get a match with Jimmy?
Okay.
Do you eventually get a match with Solo? Do you bring Rikishi in? Bring on the whole Samoan family here.
Except for one. Except for one.
Yeah, except for the one with the millions and millions.
Yep.
I don't know. Going forward, I would guess Jimmy would be next, but correct me if I'm wrong. This is not for the title, right?
It is for the title.
Oh, it is for the title.
That's why they had Roman.
Yeah, whoever wins is the
and the
chief.
Universal Champion. That's why they have Roman at minus 2K.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it's got to be Roman.
Yeah.
But where do you go? Where do you go from there? I don't know. I would guess Jimmy at that point. That'd be my guess.
I mean, Byron, we saw something for the first time in years of Roman getting pinned last month. So now some of the fans will always have that thing in their head like, oh, we've seen him get pinned. It could happen. But I just don't see Jey being the one to end this reign. But then again, I don't know. I've been saying that for 2 years. I don't know who's going to end this reign. So
that's true. We did see Roman get pinned for the first time since 2019, which is still wild that man wasn't pinned in 4 years. But so that makes, like you see, like Roman is vulnerable. He can get pinned. Also a great match, by the way. I think this match is going to be great. They both are great at storytelling, and they've both had matches in the past. Like when Roman first won the title. I think this match is going to be really, really good. I like main event Jey. His turn on Roman was amazing. But I just don't see him winning without interference from Solo. Wow.
And this funny thing, Ford Field, this is the first WWE big event since WrestleMania 23.
Damn.
And I saw something crazy. I didn't want to believe it, but this is the first, like one of the first Premier Live events, pay-per-views in America since WrestleMania.
Hopefully the Detroit crowd will be as live as the overseas crowd, since America hasn't had a pay-per-view in a minute.
Because Night of Champions was in Jeddah. Backlash was in Puerto Rico. Backlash was right after WrestleMania. Like I said, Night of Champions Jeddah. Money in the Bank was in London. So since WrestleMania, this is the first like big WWE pay-per-view in the United, which is wild.
This is what's also wild. This will be the third one in America because Elimination Chamber was in Canada.
Yeah, if you go before WrestleMania, like you said, man, Detroit better bring the crowd, or WWE's just gonna be looking around like we're getting better atmosphere outside the States.
Yeah,
but I wonder what's the end shot gonna be. Is it just gonna be Roman holding all three of the titles? Is there gonna be some, as Jacob said, some fuckery? Like,
I think the fuckery happens before, like the matches before this. I think it's just gonna be Roman with Paul Heyman and Solo standing in the ring with all the belts, just looking down on Jey.
Yeah, I think that.
I do love the stuff. My greatest dream would be for Judgment Day to surround Roman since he's all alone, start beating the hell out of him, and Damian cashes in. That'd be the ultimate. Damian, thanks for losing to Bad Bunny in the main event of the pay-per-view. You get to dethrone Roman Reigns.
That would be wild.
And then everything that anyone has said about Judgment Day throughout the years would be officially validated.
Yeah.
But that ain't happening. Roman's walking out. That WWE sign's going to be at the bottom right corner. And we're going to be like, damn, where do we go from here?
Payback.
But SummerSlam should be interesting. We're all going to be locked in. It's going to be real interesting. I do agree with Jacob. I think there's going to be a lot of surprises. There might be some returns. If you remember that one SummerSlam, no rumors of when Bayley, who's been gone forever, Dakota Kai, who was fired, and Io, who was about to be fired or quit, they all showed up. Like, we got some crazy stuff. I mean, Money in the Bank, we got returns from Drew McIntyre and John Cena. And this is the first one. Something's got to be cooking.
I really hope Brother Randy returns.
I just think he's done.
I miss that,
I just
man.
think he's done, man. That back, I think he's
I
done.
do too. But that would, like, if he returned after everyone thinks he's done, with his career would be like the biggest pop ever.
If they wants the biggest pop after Roman beats Jey, he has to RKO Roman.
Yeah, because Roman was the one that injured him.
So, but
ooh, can you imagine that as the ending shot?
It would be crazy because they actually have not had a one-on-one match like during Roman's title reign. And Randy will do the business, but Randy will punt kick Paul Heyman, which is great for TV.
Oh yeah,
Paul Heyman solo.
Anyone in the path, but a little bit about AEW. We still got All In coming, and they're on pace to do something freaking historic. I think they got about 78,000 tickets sold. They're on pace to have the biggest crowd at a wrestling event in history if this sells out. And right now there's about 10 or so K plus tickets left. And it's kind of wild because we still don't know what the hell the main event is. We don't know the card. And this hype is real, Jacob.
We really don't.
It's super real. And honestly, at that point, if it gets down to the wire and you're just trying to fill that arena, which is because, it's all I see on social media anymore. It's like, look, there's no way at the AEW crowd, blah, 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 whatever. But could you imagine a sold out Wembley and be like, yeah, fuck you guys?
I think it's going to happen, man. After I saw the UK fan base for wrestling is rabid.
It's awesome. But if it gets down to the wire, dude, I'd be doing buy one, get one specials and shit. I'd just do whatever I took, fill that arena, call it a day. Because, hey, if I give out cheap nosebleed seats, fine. You're going to buy a t-shirt.
Yep.
You're going to buy a soda.
Yep.
You're going to buy a program with CM Punk's face on it.
Bill Brooks.
So, hell yeah, dude. I mean, wild because nothing's really been announced.
Yeah, if they do this and it's legit, I mean, we all know WWE inflates the number when they're like, "Oh, biggest crowd at so and so stadium," but this is gonna be wild. I mean, Byron, a company who, God, this past year and a half, they have had some issues. They've had some real issues. Hell, we got 2 shows now because half the roster don't like one guy. But for them to do this is absolutely phenomenal. And not even just if you're an AEW fan or just a WWE fan. You as a wrestling fan, you got to be happy because this shows the fandom is still here.
Oh yeah, I really hope they do sell it out because that would just be amazing for not only AEW but for wrestling history that they sold out a crowd in Wembley. That shows is September 20th.
No, October 20th, August 27th, August 20th, end of the month.
Oh, so a month. So a month from now. And they still haven't announced matches? Okay. So maybe starting actually tonight, because today is Wednesday, maybe they'll start gearing up for Wembley matches.
Remember last pod.
One of the matches.
Remember last pod, someone said the main event should be Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm for the title.
Huh?
Not us, but it was a tweet that say since they're over there, it should be Jamie versus Tony.
Yeah.
No offense to
no, there is offense. That ain't happening.
For me, no offense to the women, I just don't think that's happening.
No offense to women, but in case you guys haven't heard, the 4 horsewomen, that era is over now.
Oh my God. One's about to win.
It's been 3 weeks and the era is still happening. Nothing changed.
The bad thing is I can't wait for another one of them to win the title. That's the problem too, because we are going to be referring to that tweet all the year round.
Shit, it's about to be Charlotte SummerSlam.
That's a tweet you just do not send. The era of the 4 horsewomen. And you think Becky's not gonna win a title in the next year? Come on now. Right. That was a Jacob. Great bringing that up. Woo. Because
I totally forgot about that.
God,
the 4 horsewomen era tweet is replacing the Tessa Blanchard every podcast. That's how we need to start off every podcast. Welcome to the L7C The
Four
four
Horsemen.
horsewoman era is still happening, and we're going on to the main events.
And Tessa. Wonder what she's doing.
That's a name I haven't heard in a
She
while.
ain't doing anything. So maybe she shows up at Wembley.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The
Tony
whole
Khan.
It went viral.
What she did?
She had a match with Moose.
That's right.
From
You're
Impact.
right. You're right. Yep.
It
right.
kind of went viral.
I didn't remember that.
You're right. Maybe Tony's gonna bring her for. Man, Tony, you know he's gonna sign some people.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah.
He might have Ryback there.
Man wants a match with Goldberg.
I know he might
so
give
bad.
Goldberg his retirement match there.
Do we get AJ?
She should. She's wrestling in the heels show, and she looks really good wrestling. I'm like, she's not lost a step. I don't know what the hell she's doing.
You want to sell out 10,000 more tickets? Sign her to a one match deal.
That's true.
One match deal. And just to be able to hold that record of like, I had the biggest wrestling show. I mean, WWE is going to do something massive after that. Just be like,
no, after this, they got to do something. They got to do something.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to know what we talked about this last time. What the hell the main event's gonna be?
Honestly, at this point, my guess would be MJF. I mean, I'm assuming he'll main event card for once, but I'm guessing MJF versus Adam Cole because that's so over right now.
Yeah.
Then MJF screws over Adam Cole, well, then that just solves itself because, well, everyone loves this tag team right now that they're doing. So,
I like it, Jacob. I like it.
I would like that match too. I would like MJF versus Adam Cole as the main event for the championship. I mean, I don't think Adam Cole will win it, but I think they would put on a hell of a match.
I got concerned because on Saturday, apparently CM Punk said he's the real world champ. I hope we're not having a title match to decide who the real world champ is between him and MJF.
It's going to happen.
Eventually. It will. Well, we know it's going to happen Chicago week.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Where they're spending literally the whole week in Chicago.
The AEW territory days. Midwest.
That's so funny.
Oh, man. But when we're reviewing SummerSlam, we should have some more matches for Wembley. But crazy thing, just because I want to keep this one a little shorter since we're doing the preview and all that stuff. Exactly 1 year ago, a couple days ago, is when Vince McMahon retired from WWE, quote unquote. And obviously a year later, had the Endeavor deal, all of that. Jacob, what are your thoughts on when Vince retired back then to snaking his way back in because of the sale now, and Triple H being in charge when, man, the whole Nick Khan, like, what are your thoughts? It's been a year.
And I just look back at it and I'm just like, we should have known better. We should have known that sneaky son of a bitch was going to weasel his way back in.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I remember the podcast. I remember us talking about it. And I remember being like, is Vince actually retired, or is Vince saying he's retired but still pulling all the strings behind the curtain? Which he kind of was in a way. And then he probably just got pissy enough and was like, nah, I'm coming back. Screw all you. Selling the company.
Changed shit, put himself in charge of the sale. Like the snaky shit that went down. It was bad. And then they had to have emergency talent meetings because morale was going down when they heard he was coming back from a creek. Like, they didn't want him in creative. And Byron, we know you were vocal about Vince and those the situation. How do you feel a year later now, and from that tweet to where we're at now?
He tweeted that he was retiring, man. That was one of the happiest days for me last year. I was like, yes, finally, Vince is done. Maybe we can get not real wrestling back, but, good creative wrestling shows. We did it for a while. Then, like you say, he sneaked his way back in. Had one of the worst Raw after WrestleManias
That
ever.
was the worst. We talked about that on the pod too. That was the worst one ever. We've had some great moments on here.
I think man should have stayed retired. Like the stock prices were going up because he wasn't over WWE anymore. That should have been money enough for him to stay behind. Like, oh, my stock prices are rising. Maybe I should, officially retire. But he's back. Vince Logic is still alive and kicking. So,
But we know when we have really, I mean, this is good. I mean, we've had Triple H at the helm too, and he does those post match interviews, which I think are cool because Vince would never,
those
Vince
are
would
good.
never have done those, and it's so weird thinking how that was a year ago. Like it was too much.
Yeah.
We don't have that many YouTube shorts on our YouTube channel, but by the way, check out the L7C YouTube channel. But one of the most famous ones is when we talked about how Vince was getting a blowjob from that little secretary and her salary went up $100,000 and he had to go to the board to ask for the secretary to get $100,000 raise for not because she was good at her real job, but because she was good at her job on the side.
Yeah.
You have to,
and then all these women came out.
you have to give it to Vince. Vince learned from his mistakes because the dude got strong armed because he was fooling around with a bunch of women. They strong armed his ass, and then he turned around and went to the board and said, "Yeah, I'm going to strong arm you now. I'm getting back in."
That's true.
He's like, I'm a steal play out of this playbook right here.
And you brought some of his people back too.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was rough. Bringing some people back. And we were all just like, it was fun while it lasted. Because Triple H was really, because there's some champions where I don't think I don't know, man. Some of these people right now, if Vince was fully in charge, I know he's not fully in charge because Austin Theory is getting destroyed.
True. That's a great point.
Because Austin pissed someone off. He really did. Or John Cena was writing his promos, man. Like, no one believes him. No one believes in Theory. So.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just something about him that's hard to get behind.
I don't know, man. Stephanie came out that Friday after Vince retired. She was leading the thank you, Vince things. Then she disappeared. Triple H was fully in charge of creative for a year. Life was great. Then Stephanie randomly steps down. And then we got Nick Khan in charge. I was like, he finally won. And Nick Khan's still going to be president when the merger's done.
Mm-hmm.
And then we didn't see, I mean, I know Jacob was on the Disney thing, which, I mean, Disney has a whole bunch of money, but we never saw the group of Endeavor, UFC, and WWE being under the same umbrella. No one saw that coming.
Yeah, that was wild when it was announced. I'm like, holy shit, UFC?
So here we are. Vince still haven't seen him. Thank the Lord. Keep him off camera.
Yes. With him and his fake ass mustache.
But that was one of Jacob's favorite things. I remember all these allegations, and Vince would randomly come out and say, then, now, together, forever, and leave.
I will say that much. I fucking miss that shit. I said it. I said it back on the past podcast. I'll say it again. He should have fucking came out and been like, hey, buy one, get one half off t-shirts, WWEshop.com tonight. The Mini Max special. Fuck, we got robbed of that.
Oh my gosh. It's been crazy. But guys, anything else?
Gable Stevenson's finally wrestling.
There you go. Well, that's a good one.
Him versus Baron Corbin at Great American Bash this Sunday?
Yeah. Yep.
That's a good one, Jacob. Yep. Yeah, we're finally, after all these years, going to see him in an official match.
He has to go
Absolutely.
over, right?
Oh, yeah.
If he doesn't win, then he might as well not leave the ring. He might as well let the teardown crew tear that ring down while he's there and ship him back home.
Crazy. But the match I'm looking forward to most on that card, Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov. That match is going to be so fucking hard on Sunday.
Hell yeah.
I still can't believe. I mean, Dragunov's the last person to beat Gunter, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, for the title. Yep.
Yeah, he's the last person to pin him. And
Yep.
that match was hot, man. Anything else?
That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Hey, shoot, that's all we need. With that being said, AEW is going on as we're talking right now, so probably something crazy has probably happened in our time of talking. But with that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. Make sure you like, rate, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to make sure that we got everything because, there's a lot of wrestling news throughout every hour of every day. But
I just thought of this because we haven't talked about it since last podcast. Congratulations to Trinity for winning the Impact Women's Championship.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
She bet on herself. Everyone who thought she wasn't that, you want to talk about a moment, one of Vince's last moments, having them walk out. They both walked out and they both won main titles at different shows. Obviously, Mercedes got hurt, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good one. Shout out.
Also, you know what? I'll throw out another thing here.
All right.
Shout out to my YouTube viewers over here.
Call them back.
Keep listening to these podcasts on YouTube, looking at a blank screen. Hell yeah. All right, no, that's all I got now. I'll just shout out to my YouTube.
All right, that was a good one. That was a good one to end on.
That was really good because now I'm looking through all of these wrestling things that we've said to each other. We talked about if Alexa Bliss comes back, is it even going to be worth anything? I mean, because she was someone who was winning titles. Maybe she ends the 4 Horsemen reign. Not a chance in hell.
And Rhea, if Rhea's still champ when she gets back.
That's true. But Cody Rhodes has his, like Byron said, the documentary. Since we've been gone, last week was the 12-year anniversary of Money in the Bank Chicago, which changed the industry forever with Punk beating Cena and blowing the kiss at Vince. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff. We had Jacob. This was Umaga's son debuted, so we got another Bloodline member coming down the pipe, just at a different promotion right now. But we're gonna see, man.
Here's a quick question. Quick little preview. Does Bray Wyatt show up at Wrestle or not Wrestle?
I've heard. I've seen.
Talk about it. Is he showing up?
No.
Okay. Byron?
Had to be quick.
No.
Because the people I've seen that he's showing up against, we're going to have huge booking discussions on here.
I'm going to say yes because both y'all said no, so fuck it. I'll be the odd man out here. So
fair enough.
On that note,
is Bray Wyatt the last picture of the night?
Could be.
But I don't think it's happening.
See,
and that is a
good
cliff.
Because didn't Roman come back at SummerSlam and take out him and Braun years ago?
3 years. Yep, exactly 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
We could flip flop it, and then you got Payback in Pittsburgh.
But we're gonna leave that cliffhanger, and we'll talk about that off podcast because that's a lot of booking stuff. But with that being said, now I really think does Bray Wyatt make an appearance at SummerSlam? He's been gone for a long time. Thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. Make sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe. As Jacob said, make sure you listen to him on all platforms, podcast platforms, and YouTube. It is the end of July, which means we'll be coming back in August, which means we'll be closer and closer to December, whatever date, for the end of year podcast, the Jacob vs. Mitch show. So that's basically what the end of year podcast's main title is going to be. With that being said, thank you everyone listening for the L7C podcast. Signing out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.